Bert, they reversed the result of your fight.
Yeah.
Should they reverse the result of that fight as well?
Just depends. Like if that changes the whole fight, if that gives Roach a victory, give him the victory. That's how you keep the integrity of the sport, right? That's why they suspended me, right, to keep the integrity.
Looks like Tank is fed up with people mocking him for taking a knee during the Roach fight, and now he's firing back. The backlash hasn't let up since the fight ended, and Gervonta Davis is definitely feeling the pressure.
Tank Davis, GTD, and I don't mean got the draws, went up against Lamont Roach. Let me tell you something. Tank got spanked. Roach should have won. And Tank even dropped to his knee. It should have been called a knock.
Now, it's not just him. A new interview with referee Steve Willis has surfaced, adding even more fuel to the fire. Let's catch you up.
Did Gervonta Davis take a knee, and should he have been deducted a point and in the end lost that fight to Roach, in your opinion?
Yeah, in my opinion, if it was a draw, he take a knee. And plus the corner go.
Fans who used to chant his name, the same analyst who once called him boxing's most dangerous puncher, are now using one moment to tear him down. The internet has been brutal, memes are everywhere. And suddenly, everyone's got an opinion about what happened in that ring. Now, with the New York State Athletic Commission still reviewing Steve Willis's handling of the fight, things are only getting messier. Just a few hours ago, Tank finally snapped, frustrated. He made it clear he's sick of how boxing works. Boxing is trash. Look at all these people bashing me, these are the same ones who bet on me. He vented. You lose one fight, have one bad night, and suddenly, that's all anyone wants to talk about.
Boxing has become this thing where, you have to be undefeated for people to care about you, and that's all gonna.
And he's not wrong. Since the fight, no one's talking about his career, his power, or his dominance. It's all about that one moment when he took a knee, when Steve Willis hesitated, when Lamont Roach Jr. was arguably robbed of a legit knockdown. Suddenly, the whole narrative around Tank has changed. The same people who once called him unstoppable are now acting like he's vulnerable. Fighters who used to avoid mentioning his name are suddenly taking shots, acting like now's their chance to challenge him. And the biggest insult, people are saying Shocker Stevenson could walk right through him.
To what may happen against Shakur Stevenson, I hear more about Shakur Stevenson after this fight than I hear about Lamont Roach, which I think is sad.
That's what really set Tank off. I lost focus in there, but that doesn't mean SHT. Astor's key snapped. I'll get back up, and we'll see what everyone says. I'll put them all down. It's clear Tank isn't just reacting to the Roach fight, he's reacting to the disrespect. He sees the analysts, the fans, the fighters taking shots at him, and he's making it clear he's not backing down. But while Tank deals with the backlash, the debate about the fight itself is still going strong. The Pro Box TV panel discussion made one thing very clear: what happened in that ring was a mess. Veteran boxing writer Dan Rafael didn't hold back. That bad night from Willis cost Lamont Roach a championship. He should have handed America's top fighter his first loss. So much went wrong, and it all worked against Roach.
Question is about Gervonta Davis's power. What is his power like? Is he as hard a puncher as he's made out to be? If the best name that somebody could give me of somebody that he knocked out is a little dude who was at his, fourth weight? I can't read too much into
Zach Rice, a respected former referee, along with trainer Stephen Bredman Edwards and former champions Chris Algieri and Paulie Malignaggi, all agreed Roach's knockdown should have been counted. The way Willis handled the situation raised too many questions. First, there was the hesitation. Then, there was Tank turning his back and walking to his corner mid-round. And in the middle of all that, his trainer Calvin Ford was somehow allowed to step in and wipe his face with a towel. How does that happen? Malignaggi asked during the panel. How does a fighter just walk to his corner, get his face wiped, and the ref does nothing? That's insane.
To me, I think I won the fight. Now, granted, 9th round should have been called a knockdown. Two judges on the official scorecard gave him the round 10-9. If that was a knockdown, I win the round 10-8. That's a 3-point.
Pro Box TV founder Gary Jonas, who also advises Roach, is pushing the New York State Athletic Commission to overturn the fight result. He's officially filed an appeal, arguing that Roach should be declared the winner. His reasoning: the knockdown was obvious. Tank turned his back mid-fight, and Calvin Ford illegally stepped onto the ring apron. Any one of those should have been enough for Willis to take a point. People make mistakes, but it always seems to favor the aside. Bredman Edwards pointed out, and a lot of fans agree. When Tank was the undefeated superstar, everything went his way. But now that there's a moment of weakness, everyone's questioning how boxing protects its biggest stars. Malik Naji didn't hold back either. You can't just call your own timeout. He said bluntly, that's not how this works.
I think you lost that fight. I mean, the only reason they gave you the fight was because you would make more money as a champion, but there's no way it's a draw, and they didn't call it a knockdown. If they called a knockdown, you lost.
While the commission reviews the fight, Tank is focused on one thing: revenge. He sees what's happening. He knows that if he had knocked out Roach early, none of this would even be a conversation. He knows that the same analyst tearing him down now would be hyping him up if things had played out differently. And let's not forget the fighters circling him now. Shocker Stevenson wasted no time throwing shade, implying Tank's performance proves he can't handle elite boxers. And of course, Ryan Garcia couldn't resist jumping in, clowning Tank on Twitter. Not so scary anymore, huh?
So when your foot's out, 1 foot out, you're gonna get in the ring and you're gonna have that moment where you gotta step it up and it just won't come. But I think that's what happened.
What do you think about him taking the knee at that point?
I think that
should it have been ruled a knockdown?
100% should have been.
Devin Haney, who's had plenty of back and forths with Tank, made sure to remind everyone that real champions don't take knees. And Tank isn't just hearing all of this, he's remembering it. Tim, this is personal. This isn't just about whether the knee should have counted as a knockdown. It's about proving that one shaky night doesn't erase everything he's done. He's still the most dangerous puncher in the division, and he's determined to remind the world exactly why. I'll put all of them down, he repeated.
And I thought he won the fight personally. The no knockdown, that was like unheard of. It was the first time I've ever seen it with my own 2 eyes. And
there's already talk of a rematch with Roach, but at this point, that's not enough for Tank. He's looking past Roach. He wants to silence every single person who's been talking about him. He wants to erase this moment from history with a knockout so brutal that no one ever brings up the Roach fight again. But the truth is, this controversy isn't going away. Even if the New York Commission doesn't overturn the fight, this will be a stain on Tank's legacy for now, at least. Fighters like Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez, and even Muhammad Ali all had moments where people doubted them. The difference, it's how they responded. Tank's response? He's making it clear this isn't the downfall people think it is. If anything, this is the start of his next chapter. And if history has taught us anything, it's that a pissed-off Gervonta Davis is the most dangerous version of him.
I'm not sure, bro. I'm definitely not sure. But hopefully we could get it before... Nah, it probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
But even though Tank hates it, the criticism isn't slowing down. In fact, it's only getting louder. More fighters, analysts, and officials are weighing in. And the debate over that moment in the fight is growing by the day. And now, the latest twist has made things even worse. A new video has surfaced showing referee Steve Willis being confronted about his handling of the fight. The clip, which went viral almost instantly, shows a fan catching Willis off guard, demanding answers about why he didn't call a knockdown when Tank took a knee. The fan didn't hold back, straight up calling Tank's move some BS. Willis, clearly uncomfortable, refused to comment. "I can't speak on that," he said. The fan pressed again. "Come on, man, you saw it." Again, Willis shut it down. "I can't speak on it. I can't."
Who's thinking when Tank did that when he took the knee? What you think when he took the knee?
I can't speak.
Can't speak on that?
Can't speak.
He did some book though?
I can't speak.
No personal opinion, nothing?
Can't, especially.
Response only made things worse. Too many fans. It looked like Willis knew he made a mistake, but refused to admit it. The fact that the referee who made the call won't talk about it is only giving Roach's team more reason to push for an overturned result. The fight officially ended in a majority draw. One judge had it 115 to 113 for Davis, while the other scored it 114 to 114. But now, with all this pressure building, there's a real chance the outcome could change. WBA President Gilberto Mendoza Jr. has already made his stance clear. Let me repeat, taking a knee without a punch should be ruled a knockdown. It affected the result of the fight, and he wasn't the only one who thought Roach deserved the...
Did Gervonta Davis take a knee, and should he have been deducted a point, and in the end lost that fight to Roach, in your opinion?
Yeah, in my opinion, if it was a draw, he take a knee. And plus the corner go up and put it a towel in the face. That's disqualification for sure. I'm talking about the rules, but it's not.
Someone like Canelo Alvarez says Tank should have been disqualified. You know, it's a big deal. It's not just about the judges' scorecards anymore. It's about whether Tank should have even been allowed to finish the fight. If the ref had strictly followed the rules, Roach might have won by stoppage. But Tank's explanation for taking a knee only made things messier. His own hairstylist, who did his hair before the fight, posted on Instagram that the products used wouldn't have caused any issues. The post was quickly deleted, but not before screenshots spread online. And the controversy doesn't stop there. The New York State Athletic Commission confirmed that they tried to use instant replay to review the 9th round but ran into a technical issue. Their official statement explained that when they requested the footage, it wasn't available in time, so they had to rely on the referees and ring decision. That explanation isn't sitting well with fans. If instant replay exists but doesn't work when it's needed most, what's the point? This isn't the first time NYSAC has been questioned over a controversial fight, and this only adds to fans' frustration.
I mean, look, he wasn't hurt. There's no doubt about that. But if you take a knee in the fight and you touch down, whilst punches are being thrown, it has to be a knockdown. I've heard some people saying, "Oh, that he should be disqualified. He went back to the corner." I don't buy that, to be honest with you. I mean, I think that's a warning. But it's a bit of a bizarre situation. For me, like, there was a lot of...
Roach's team isn't letting this slide. They've officially sent a letter to NYSAC demanding the fight result be overturned. Their argument is simple. Tank voluntarily took a knee, and the referee failed to call it a knockdown, which could have changed the outcome of the fight. On top of that, Calvin Ford stepping into the ring mid-round should have led to a point deduction or even a disqualification. Even Tank's biggest supporters are struggling to defend him. Some argue that a 10-8 round for Roach wouldn't have guaranteed him the win, while others say Tank would have found a way to win later anyway. But those arguments are being drowned out by the overwhelming backlash that just won't stop.
We will never see that fight happen again. It just will not happen. Gervonta Tank Davis doesn't like hard fights. It's that simple. We've seen it over and over. He fought a Ryan Garcia drained. He fought a very inexperienced Rolly Romero. He will not fight Devin Haney. He will not fight Shakur. He will not fight Pitbull Cruz again.
Making things worse for Tank, former referee Jack Rice, one of the most respected officials in boxing, has spoken out. He was blunt. In his assessment on Pro Box TV, it should have been a knockdown, no question about it. The fighter voluntarily went down, and under the rules, that's a knockdown. Rice also pointed out another major issue when Tank took a knee. The fight should have paused. Instead, chaos broke out. Tank walked to his corner, got wiped out, and somehow the referee just let the fight continue like nothing happened. This was a mess. Rice said it wasn't handled correctly at all.
It's very unfortunate, but if there was some outside factor that did get into his eye, I don't know. You're walking on a gray line, and that's when things aren't necessarily black or white. So it's a tough call, and you don't.
For the first time in his career, Tank isn't in control of his own narrative. Fans, analysts, and even other fighters are shaping the conversation. If the commission overturns the result, this could be one of the biggest scandals in modern boxing history. Devin Haney has joined the growing list of fighters who believe Roach should have been declared the winner. The former undisputed lightweight champion believes Roach not only put up a strong fight, but actually did enough to win. Haney's opinion carries weight. He's known Roach since their amateur days. But like everyone else, Haney was most shocked by the 9th round controversy. Davis voluntarily took a knee. That should have been called a knockdown. That was unheard of. Haney said, "The moment has become the biggest talking point of the fight." Davis, clearly struggling, dropped to one knee after Roach landed a jab near his eye. Referee Steve Willis, standing just feet away, initially started to count, hesitated, then waved for the action to continue.
Move your head. Oh, stop closing up. Gotta let it go. Keep turning, step around. Keep turning.
Roach's team wasted no time filing an official protest. His attorney, Greg Smith, sent a formal challenge to NYSAC Executive Director Matt DeLoglio, demanding the result be overturned. While boxing protests rarely succeed in changing results, the situation is different. The controversy, combined with NYSAC admitting they had a technical failure, has raised serious concerns about boxing's regulatory process. Had Willis called it a knockdown, Roach would have won that round 10-8. That alone could have flipped The final scorecards making him the new WBA lightweight champion.
The New York State Athletic Commission makes a statement yesterday that they're going to be reviewing Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach, 9th round, knockdown, not a knockdown, whatever, to see what the...
Tank's explanation for taking a knee only made things worse. His excuse faced widespread doubt. Even his own hairstylist didn't back him up, posting a now-deleted Instagram message questioning his claims. At first, the WBA defended Willis's decision. The organization posted an article on its website, insisting the referee's call was reasonable and that Davis didn't benefit from favoritism. But instead of calming the backlash, it made things worse. Fans, fighters, and analysts erupted over what they saw as blatant bias. The backlash forced WBA President Gilberto Mendoza to step in. He quickly removed the article and distanced the WBA from the claims. Then, in a rare move, he personally apologized to Roach and his father via social media. Champ, as president of the WBA, I must apologize for the opinion of a website contributor. We've believed in you from day one and are proud of your performance, Mendoza wrote. But apologies weren't enough. The controversy had already reached a boiling point, and Mendoza knew the WBA had to take action.
Match was signed. I signed for the immediate rematch when I signed for the first fight.
Right.
Just in case he lost or just in case it was a draw.
So when you got a rematch clause, how long we taking?
It's up to the A side and when they want to fight. So I'm thinking it's going to be soon. I'm hoping it's going to be soon. Let's say that.
What is soon to you? When you say soon to me, I'm thinking a month.
I'm thinking July.
I'm thinking July.
The biggest move came when Mendoza publicly announced he was pushing for an immediate rematch. I have asked the WBA committee to follow Lamont Roach Jr.'s rematch case closely, Mendoza stated. However, we believe both sides will agree to run it back. Tank has said he's open to a rematch, but many doubt his sincerity. Given how costly Willis's decision was, Roach's team will likely demand a different referee for the rematch to ensure a fair fight.
I hit him with a little jab or whatever the case. Oh, that ain't nothing. Or if he hit me, or if I block a shot, I was like, oh, too slow. Or you know what I'm saying?
Meanwhile, NYSAC is still under fire for how they handled the situation. Their admission of a technical issue preventing them from using replay has led to calls for major reforms. Fans and analysts want assurances that similar failures won't happen in the future. The commission's explanation didn't do much to calm the outrage. A spokesperson confirmed that during the crucial 9th round, they requested a replay but couldn't get the footage in time. Therefore, the referee's in-ring decision was relied upon. And the fight continued, they said. With even the biggest names in boxing weighing in, the pressure on NYSAC is only growing. Roach's team is still fighting for justice, and the WBA is reconsidering its stance after initially defending the referee. As it stands, Davis still holds his title, but the controversy isn't going anywhere. Calls for a rematch are getting louder, and scrutiny on NYSAC's handling of the fight won't fade anytime soon. This inquiry could take weeks, maybe even months, but as soon as new details emerge, you'll be the first to know. So, subscribe now and stay updated.